Yes, hi. Be unmuted.
Shabbat Shalom, Cantor Waisha.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi Joseph. How are you this evening?
I am good this evening. We had a few hiccups as we were running our announcements before services, but all is good. And I know some of you came on Zoom, which makes me suspect a wrong link was sent out. I hope you managed to join us on YouTube. We will be doing an Onyx Shabbat on Zoom afterwards, and I will double check the link. So give us 5 minutes after services to make sure that I have the right link up so we can have a wonderful time together. You'll notice that my background is different to usual, as is Cantor Waisha's. We will be talking about the study of Torah in this service and honoring the late Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz. And we're trying to keep our backgrounds thematic with what we are learning and studying, or with our prayer service, the mood we want to create, much like we're going to ask you to do at Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur with your backgrounds as we come together as a community on Zoom. So we have pomegranates representing the mitzvot behind Cantor Waisha. I have a study hall, women studying Torah behind me. And we hope that that will add to the mood of our service. I'm sharing my screen with you all as we begin our service with this beautiful song, Psalm 27, which is traditionally sung during the month during the month of Elul.
Rabbi, we're seeing the full display of your PowerPoint, just so you know.
Oh, thank you for that. Let me stop my share, and lovely technical hitches here. Here we go. There we are. Now you should be seeing just the screen with the song, correct?
Correct. Beautiful. I hope you all are singing at home. Achat shalti me'et Adonai Oto avakesh Achat shalti me'et Adonai Oto avakesh Shivti beveit Adonai kol yamechai Shivti beveit Adonai kol yamechai. One thing I ask of you, O God, this is all I ask. One thing I ask of you, O God, this is all I ask. Let me live in the shelter of your house all the days of my life. Let me live in the shelter of your house all the days of my life. Achat shalti me'et Adonai Oto avakesh.
We continue with the lighting of the Shabbat lights.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshenu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. O source
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
This melody will be new to you. When I discovered it, I fell in love with it, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Hashiveni ve'ashuva, Hashiveni ve'ashuva, Chadesh, 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 Yameinu Chadesh, Chadesh, Yameinu kekedem. Receive me, bring me back again. Receive me, bring me back again, so I may return to my true self. Renew me again, so I may return to my true self. Renew me again. Hashiveni ve'ashuva, Hashiveni ve'ashuva, Chadesh, 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 Yameinu kekedem. Chadesh, Chadesh, Yameinu kekedem.
Yedid Nefesh, heart's delight, source of mercy, draw your servant into your arms.
Yedid nefesh harachman, Yedid nefesh harachman, meshochav decha el ritzonecha, Ya la 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 El Ritzonecha Yarutz Avdecha Gemoya Yishtachave Ya la la Ya la 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 El Moadecha Yedid Nefesh Av HaRachaman Yedid Nefesh Av HaRachaman Meshochav Decha Meshochav Decha Ya la 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 El Ritzonecha.
We welcome the Shabbat bride.
Let's start that over. Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad Ishmi'anu el hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'litila Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nocha Ki hi mekor havaracha Merosh mekedem nesocha So ma'aseh v'nokshev v'achila Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela. We rise in body or in our hearts to greet our Sabbath bride after this verse, I think. Where are we?
We're up to
We're having a great time tonight. Hitoreri, hitoreri, hitoreri. Kiva oreku mi uri, 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 shir daberi. Kivod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Now you may rise.
Bohi v'shalom ha'teret bala Gam b'simcha u'v'tzola Toch emunei am segula Bohi chala, bohi chala Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
We rise for the Baruch Hu. We're missing that slide, so I don't know where it went.
All right. Well, we all know what we're saying.
Yeah.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamavarach, Leolam vaed.
Baruch Adonai Amvorach Leolam Vaed.
If you have stood up, you may be seated. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch Ata Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha V'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uv'lechtecha v'derech, uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha, u'kshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, Uvisharecha Leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'alechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. So my PowerPoint has done some very interesting things. Apparently, things have moved everywhere.
Well, that's exciting.
I know, it's very exciting. So I'm just going through to find the right place in the service. And of course, the right place in the service would be the Mi Chamocha. So let me see where I can find that. Here we go. Who knows what happened here?
You know what? Is it the Micha Mocha or is it a little bit of Kaddish? Maybe a little
No.
Hatzi Kaddish, no?
No, it's the Mi Chamocha. Apparently, in the middle of doing high holidays, these slides were not checked so well.
Oh,
So
well, it's okay. We got a lot going on.
we do have a lot going on. It's been 14-hour days constantly. Here we go. Here we go. Now we're in the right place.
Look at that.
Yeah, let's hope it continues to be the right place. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect. Song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravaged by war, now quiet and content. The soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Ya ba ba bim ba ba bum, ya ba ba bim bum, ya ba ba bim ba ba bum, ya ba ba bim bum, ya da 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 ya da da bim bum, ya da 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 ya ba bim bum, mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi chamocha נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, מלכותך רבו עונך, פוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה לי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. די 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 יבא בא בא בם בם, די 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 יבא בא בא בם בם, איי 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 יבא בא בא בם בם, איי 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 יבא בא בא בם בם. I think that all of us could use a little shelter of peace. Ufros aleinu sukat, sukat, shelomecha, ufros aleinu sukat, sukat, shelomecha, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la.
Constant study is not study all day, but each day. One of the things that we'll be looking at later in the service is the discipline of Daf Yomi, not studying Talmud all day, but just a little bit each day to get through the cycle of the whole Talmud. What is it that you study each day? How do you grow? We rise for tefillah.
Adonai sefotay tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Geulah Livnei V'Nechem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava. Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav lehoshia, Maharid atah. Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofech olim, Umatir asurim, Umkayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha, Pal givurot, Umidom melach, Melech memit umchayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
If you rose, please be seated. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer our thanks. Take a little bit of time to think about what you are thankful for in your life. You may even want to say it out loud just to hear it in the universe. I am thankful for technology, even when it doesn't work. And I am thankful for my partner in prayer, and thankful for a home over my head and for food in my belly. Add what you are thankful for as well.
I'm thankful for all those things. Modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach. We thank you, God, for all these gifts. Modim anachnu lach, modim anachnu lach.
Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace. And give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael bashalom. We take some time for silent prayer.
Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol yoshvei tevel.
With peace in our hearts, the sense of shalom, the sense of wholeness. We think of those who are in need of healing, healing of body, healing of soul. We ask that you say the names of those that are in your heart out loud, sending them thoughts of healing, sending them thoughts of wholeness, sending them hope as we sing Ami Sheberach.
Arafel for elef ומחבש לעצבותיו מונה מספר לכוכבים לכולם שמות יקרא Healer of the broken-hearted Binder of our wounds Counter of uncountable stars You know who we are Hallelujah Hallelujah
So we're going to begin with the blessing for studying Torah, because that is what Cantor and I are about to do in the honor of Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz, one of the Gedolei Hador, one of the great ones of the last generation, who changed the study of many different things in his translations, but specifically of the study of Talmud. And this was very radical in the more traditional world. He translated the Talmud, which is written in Aramaic, into Hebrew, so that you didn't have to be a Talmud scholar sitting in a yeshiva knowing Aramaic and to be able to study Talmud. It became something that every human being in Israel, the cab driver, to the bus driver, to the person that makes falafel, could do. They could study Talmud. And consequently, he had his translation of the Talmud translated into English, translated into Spanish, translated into many different languages, French and Russian, making it accessible for many more people to engage in this ancient tradition of studying Talmud. In the 1920s, it became a tradition through Agudat Yisrael for people to do what we call daf yomi. Daf meaning a page, yomi meaning daily, so a page daily. And the idea was that rather than go deep into every single bit of Talmud, that you would just touch the surface of it by studying a page. And a page in a folio of Talmud is actually two pages. There's an A side and a B side to each page. And that if you read a page every day over 7.5 years, you would actually have gotten through the whole of the Talmud. And Rabbi Steinsaltz, may his memory be a blessing, really allowed it and made it possible for many more people to engage in this practice. So we are going to look at the Daf Yomi for the day, the Talmud study passage for this very day, which is from Eruvin 13b. And just a little bit of background before Cantor and I read this passage and study it together with you. This comes in the context of the whole page of Eruvin, where there's a discussion of how Jewish law, how halacha works. And the statement is made, which is often made in the Talmud, Elu ve'elu divrei Elohim chayim. This and that are the words of God. When you have an opinion and a counterpoint to that opinion, or several opinions, the idea is that everything is holy. It is all holy literature, and it is all the words of God. And in speaking about the differences of opinion, this raises the specter of two houses of study that looked at law in very different ways. Beit Hillel, who tended to be a lot more lenient when it came to law, and Beit Shammai, who happened to be a lot more strict when it came to law. And as they evoke Hillel and Shammai and their houses, they bring cases that they have discussed together to show how there are differences of opinion, but both are the word of God. Which brings us to our passage, which is here now on the screen for us to read. We will not, of course, do the Aramaic, though we might refer back to it, but we're going to look at it together. And when you study Talmud, you go have a back and forth and a reading out loud. Did we do the blessing, Cantor Shah? I don't think
We did not do the blessing yet.
Okay, let's do it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Would you like to read the passage for us?
Sure. The sages taught the following baraita.
And I'm going to stop you there because I'm not sure everybody knows what a baraita is.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah, so a baraita is a piece of holy words that was not included in the Mishnah. So it was holy teachings that were passed down, but not included in the Mishnah, but it was put in a separate book. So this tells us that it didn't make into the stories that were passed down in the official code, but in the unofficial book, the Baraita, this is where we get this story. Keep going.
For 2.5 years, Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel disagreed. These say, it would have been preferable had man not been created than to have been created. And those said, it is preferable for man to have been created than had he not been created. Ultimately, they were counted and concluded. It would have been preferable had man not been created than to have been created.
Let's just stop there. That's astonishing, right?
Yeah.
So they're arguing over should we as human beings even have been created, right? And one side, assuming believing Beit Shammai, because they're mentioned first, says it's preferable that we'd not been created. And the other side, Beit Hillel, is saying, it's preferable to have been created than not being created. So once it's done, we should be here. And they took a vote, right? They counted and concluded, and they decided as a group, it's preferable that human beings had not been created than to have been created. So that's astonishing to think about. Like, it's better that we're not here.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Okay. However, now that he has been created, he should examine his actions that he has performed and seek to correct them. And some say he should scrutinize his planned actions and evaluate whether or not and in what manner those actions should be performed so that he will not sin.
So I think the gist of it is, so it would be better that we as human beings weren't created, but since it's a fait accompli and we've been created, we should examine how we behave and make sure that we behave well, which is such an Elul message, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my brain went immediately to the Midrash, because this idea of arguing over whether human beings should be created and not being created, we see in different midrashim. And I looked some of them up because I knew we were going to study this passage, right? So in the Talmud, in Sanhedrin, we get the instance where Rav Yehuda speaks to Rav and says that when God thought about creating us human beings, God created a group of ministering angels and said, should I create them? And they were like, what's this? What are these human beings going to do? And God starts talking about what it is we humans might be do and what our human nature is. And they go, no, don't create these human beings. So then God smites that group of angels, gets rid of them, and creates another group of angels, asks them the same question, then smites that group of angels. And then finally, the third group says, Master of the universe, the first two group of people who spoke their minds before you, the first lot of angels, they got smitten. So obviously you really want to do this. So go create your human being, right? And then the other one comes from Genesis Rabbah 8:5. Also a great story. And this comes from Rabbi Simeon. And he says, when the Holy One wanted to create the first human being, God asked all of the angels. So once again, we're back with the angels, God taking counsel with them, and they're arguing over whether human beings should be created. And one angel says yes, and another angel says no. And they bring lots of biblical proof texts, because that's, of course, what angels do, right? And finally, when truth says no, God hurls truth into the earth. And then finally, the angels turn around and see, while they've been arguing, what has God done? Can you guess?
I think he might have gone ahead and created some people.
Gone ahead and created the people. So we're here anyway. But it certainly reminds me, well, we don't have the angels in this passage. It certainly reminds me of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the other interesting thing is the use of words here. We have this interesting line at the bottom. And some say he should scrutinize his planned actions and evaluate whether or not and in what manner those actions should be performed so that he will not sin. And then, first of all, we should examine our actions. And second, we should scrutinize our actions. There's two words. In the Hebrew, our examining our actions is yef shafesh b'ma'asav, and then examining our actions or scrutinize our actions, but they both actually are very similar in meaning, is yemeshamesh b'ma'asav. And the question is, of course, since they both mean to look at our actions, what's the difference between the two? So what could that be, right? I know that Rashi, because I looked at the commentary, says that examining our actions means looking at our past actions, things we've done in the past. And Yemashmesh is examining our actions in the present. So we have to look at both our past actions and our present actions. Another interpretation from Mishilat Yesharim, The Path of the Upright, from Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzzatto, written 18th century, says that one means to look at our bad deeds, and then the other means to look at our good deeds, because even when we do good deeds, they don't always come out of good motivations, right? Even when we procreate, we might do it for selfish reasons. That's one of the examples he gives. Or when we build a house, it might not be just for shelter, but because we want to show off that we've got lots of money and we buy our house. So doing a good deed is not necessarily done with the best of motivations. So I think that that's really interesting. you know, this idea of looking at your deeds all over, and even if you think they're good, examining them really, what are the motivations for what I'm doing? Why am I doing this? Am I really putting it out into the world? What I'm putting out into the world, does that really come from the best place? What struck you about this text?
That's a great teaching for this month. It's funny, when I read the ending of this teaching, I immediately thought of all of my friends who are fighting for environmental action and how they question whether humans are the best inhabitants of this planet, and how our effects have been, really intense. I think about my friends in California right now, facing these wildfires. There are people all over the world facing natural consequences to the actions of humans on the planet. And you could sort of start to side with Beit Shammai or the angels who said, these people are not a great idea. But I appreciate that this teaching comes around and tells us, well, so now that we're here, what can we do about it? And we definitely want to examine the actions we've had. This time of year, we're looking all back the whole past year at all the things we regret doing, things we might not have even thought that we regretted doing until we sit down and think about them. And we start to plan what we want to do in the coming year. And a lot of us have more time to sit and plan and dream and draw and consider right now than we ever have before. And this is a great opportunity to think about, like you said, what do I want to do? Why do I want to do it? And will it benefit the world and my community?
Yeah, I'm going to say amen to that and ask everybody to arise for the Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
It is hard to sing of oneness when the world is not complete, when those who once brought wholeness to our life have gone, and naught but memory can fill the emptiness their passing leaves behind. But memory can tell us only what we were in company with those we loved. It cannot help us find what each of us alone must now become. Yet no one is really alone. Those who live no more echo still within our thoughts and words, and what they did is part of what we have become. We do best homage to our dead when we live our lives more fully, even in the shadow of our loss. For each of our lives is worth the life of the whole world, and each one is the breath of the ultimate one. In affirming the one, we affirm the worth of each one whose life now ended brought us closer to the source of life, in whose unity no one is alone and every life finds purpose. On this Shabbat, we think about all of those lives that have died from COVID-19 in just a short few months. We remember those in our community who have recently departed. Shelley Laffel, cousin of Richard Lipov, Marty Silverman, cousin of Robert Markowitz, and Rabbi David Davis, cousin of Sue Ellen Siegel. And we add to our list of memories some of the greats of the Jewish people who have passed away in the last month. Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz, and in the last week, Rabbi Samuel Kaff. And of course, we observe these yort sites at this time. Sidney Albach, Lillian Buchan, Louis Bernstein, Lucy Cohan, Richard Allen Cohen, Bernard Dichter, Frida Delinko, Hannah Drucker, David Engel, Pauline Glassberg, Dora Glatter, Emma Goldstein, Joel Hoffman, Diane Carmel, Herman Katkow, Sarah Kay, Shirley Klein, Rose Krieger, Claire E. Kuhn, Marsha Lappin, Paul Levitz, Hai Lipov, Ethel Lowe, Harry Meyer, Ethel Portney, Benice Schwartz, Stuart Schwartz, Louis Shimonsky, Fred Singer, Sophie Stoffer, Hilda Tannenholz, Bernard Wheel, Helen Wheel, Eva Glott Weiner, Pearl Weissman, David Wolf, and Rhoda R. Yanis. May all of their memories be a blessing. If it is your custom, you are welcome to rise for Kaddish or rise in your heart or just sit a little straighter in your seat. Yikadal v'yikadash shmei Rabbah,
Amen.
v'yalma divrach hirutei, v'yamlech malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei t'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei amaya. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ah v'tromam v'yitnaseh, v'yishada v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha b'rechu.
Oh,
Ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, dushbachata v'nechemata, damiran bi'alma v'imru amen.
Amen.
Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen.
May the source of peace grant peace to all who mourn and comfort the bereaved among us. And we say, Amen.
Amen.
It's time to ask our president to unmute himself and to make himself large on our screen so that we can indeed hear a few of the announcements that we're running before services. Ah, there you are. We can indeed hear a few of the announcements that we're running before services.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you, Rabbi, for wonderful service tonight. And thank you, Cantor Weissauer, for your music and great connection. Really happy to see that. So we ran a couple of slides before service.
There you are.
And we are hoping that, I'm sorry about the feedback. We are hoping that people were greeted by this and didn't find a blank channel when they came on to begin with. And I'm sorry about the feedback, didn't get my TV set. I'm gonna let this go for a second. Okay, I think it's, there we are. Okay. Not okay. Okay, I think we're there now. Sorry about that. Welcome. Let's start again. Welcome to the technical follies of Bet Aviv. Um, we've tried a lot of new things tonight. We've tried a lot of new things tonight, and we're learning. So bear with us. It'll get a lot better as it goes along. So anyway, we ran the announcements. As you can see, we still have some activities planned for Elul. I know we're bombarding you with emails, but I'm a firm believer in constant communication. Oh dear. Oh dear, I'm getting feedback all over the place. I'm sorry about this.
Just keep going.
Yeah, so no, I don't think this is going to be impossible.
So,
I'm not sure why I'm getting feedback.
okay, so do you mind if I take over the announcements, Rich Madonna?
I just want to make sure people are aware of Rich Rosenblatt's email asking for volunteers for leadership positions. And we are also going to be looking for some people to assist us on the technical side with High Holy Day services. So go ahead, Rabbi, and take over from here.
Yeah. So there are going to be some trainings on how to get on the technology that will be happening prior to the high holidays. There are some workshops coming up. I highly recommend my workshop. I know that sounds self-serving, which is going to be how to create beautiful backgrounds, how to set up your own inner sanctuary so that high holidays feels like high holidays to you and not that you're just sitting in front of another computer screen or another television watching something. And we also have lots of different things happening right through the month of Elul. I hope everybody is getting the beautiful inspirational videos from the Federation with clergy in Howard County teaching. And we look forward to worshiping with you on a more regular basis come September and through the high holidays themselves. Did I do okay, Rich Madonna? I'll take a thumbs up. Or not.
I'll give you one.
Excellent. Let's resume our share so that we can look at our final song. Debbie Friedman, in honor of Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz, in honor of students and teachers everywhere, in honor of the study of Torah, we sing the Kaddish de Rabbanan.
For our teachers and their students and the students of the students, we ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say Amen. And for those who study Torah here and everywhere, may they be blessed with all they need, and let us say Amen. We ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say Amen. We ask for peace and loving kindness, and let us say Amen.
It is traditional on the second day of Elul, on every day of Elul, to hear the sound of the shofar. So, in honor of that, Tikiyah Gedolah. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. See you soon on the Oneg.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.